Hey everybody, welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. It is I, Sly, with the magnificent John today, and we are reviewing another wonderful episode of Secret Invasion. How you doing, bud?
Hey man, I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here, guys, with another episode. And man, yeah, we're checking out episode 5 today, Harvest, and another banger, another banger. This show is
certified banger, man. Yeah. This show, tomato meter off the charts.
Yeah, it might be my new favorite episode. Episode 3 is really hard to top with like the whole battle with the Skrulls and the president. That was really hard, scene to top. But this one also is really good too in its own respects. They're dealing with the, I guess just Talos is just dead, you know? I feel like we breezed past that a little too fast. I feel like he was a really good character, and I kind of upset how fast that was breezed past. I feel like that's kind of lame. How
they didn't even we barely got like burial kind of shit for him. Mm-hmm. That's this episode, right?
Yes, this episode. Gaia meets up with Priscilla, I think her name is.
Which is her human name. Sure.
I did like that one part how Gaia was like, "Does he even like your face?" And it's like,
honestly, Gaia takes some shots at people, and it's kind of crazy because she's like that weird blend between Talos in terms of like she cares about her people,
right? And
Gravik does not. But then she has that habit of Gravik where like she's just cut and dry. She's very like irritated, blunt, and you can tell she's over things.
Yeah, I do like her character quite a bit too. It's where it's like her bluntness is irritating, but I do like it. I think it's nice. I do that one scene with the funeral. I feel like that was kind of awkward because she's like, "Oh, my dad, like I fucked up," and I was just like, you were like on such bad terms, and we're talking shit to your about your dad every scene, and then the scene. Yeah,
literally, your last words to your father were like, "You're fucking like idiot, man.
Idiot loser. Why don't you go get some super serum, you fucking idiot loser?" You know, like she was kind of a dick about her dad, and then like at the rescue, it's like, "Oh, I don't know the prayer to say goodbye to him." It's like, you don't give a shit. You do not care.
You don't give a fuck.
Yeah, for real. That's how it was. That she did not give a fuck. That's how it felt. But then she immediately she's like, I miss my dad. But then, man, fucking everyone turned on Gravik real fucking quick. This man had like the fucking serum, and he was going Groot on some motherfuckers, and it was pretty crazy.
I think part of the issue too was they didn't want Talos to die. They wanted him to be made an example of. Right. So killing him honestly backfired for Gravik.
Yeah. And his second in command spoke out and said, like, what are we doing here? Like, this is, like, what's happening here? You know? And he did not like the way he was talking, so he killed him in front of everybody. And then everyone was kind of like, you're fucking wacko, dude.
For real.
Yeah, and they tried to do a little rebellion that it did not work out. Apparently the man with all the superpowers, apparently a plastic bag over his head was not going to kill him. But they should have really...
I was wondering where they were going with that. I was like, really?
Oh, dude, in my head, when he was on the phone, just kind of walking around, you know, talking on the phone, and someone picked up that jackhammer. I'm like, oh shit, dude! I'm like, it's about to go down, and it did. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. They like every moment there. I'm like, oh, that would have been cool if that happened. They went with it too, and it was good.
Oh yeah,
it was really good. We got more scenes of that British lady with the SIS, I think.
SAS?
Maybe something like that.
That's something.
Yeah. More scenes with her. She was pretty cool too. She was doing a lot of dope stuff. Just cool scenes. She's a really likable character. She's super charismatic, and she it was just cool scenes with her. One where she was meeting up with scientists. I couldn't tell you.
That was freaking amazing. I loved that whole thing because like she walks in there and she's like, okay, you could quit playing Hollywood. You know, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And they're all like, what?
Yeah, immediately. She's like, oh, Mr. So-and-so, and he's like, that's not my name. She's like, no, the guy with the silencer up to your skull right now, that's his name. And I was like, damn.
She's so proper with it. She's like, so cool. Oh, no, not that.
Yeah, she's so cool. She's just a really cool character. You know what I was thinking about in that episode? I'm like, she's more Nick Fury than fucking Nick Fury at this point.
I think that was what they were trying to allude to in the first episode where she gets Nick. And he's kind of like, you know, like, hey, where'd you learn this? And she's kind of like, you know, like I picked up a thing or two along the way. And like, she's honestly I think she's more like Nick Fury was. Yeah.
For sure.
Except, you know, the way she does things versus Nick, like her ideology.
Yeah.
I think that's where her and Nick vary.
Yeah,
she seems more like she wants to help. Nick was more so just like, I'm trying to cover my ass.
Yeah, cutthroat kind of thing.
Yeah.
He seemed more like kind of government, like type of CIA spook rather than like how he actually, he used that terminology in the first episode. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode was pretty great. It ended in the most fantastic way possible, where I honestly had goosebumps at the end of it because I was so excited.
Shit was wild, man.
You know,
that was awesome.
I'm not a huge person who super buys into the Avengers and Nick Fury and stuff. I'm just not that type of person, you know. Like, I really enjoyed those movies, but I was never like kind of standing for them, you know. But like that moment at the end of the episode where he went through the graveyard and we got a huge explanation of what Gravik was actually interested in and whose DNA he actually wanted to use. He put on the eye patch, he got his gun, he had the big old black trench coat, and it's like, man, looks like classic Fury is fucking back, baby.
Badass.
Yeah, so dope. It was just so like hyped up, because it's like I'm not watching Secret Invasion because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a great action sequence with the 75-year-old Nick, like Samuel Jackson. I know that's not what I'm getting, but
it's kind of not what we want.
No, that's not what I want out of the show either. Like, they really missed the fucking boat, because I feel like this is what the vibes that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to have, and they missed the boat completely, 100%. Also with this,
100%.
Samuel Jackson, it just might be better because could be this way because he's a more experienced actor and has more. He just could be better, but like his comedy does not feel as much as forced as any other fucking person in any Marvel thing ever. Everything by him just feels very natural and shit. I feel like his sarcasm and his character, and nothing feels like super forced, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. No, his humor and like his comedic timing, something about it just feels like,
it's natural.
You know what? That was legitimately funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was meant to be, but like it just works.
Maybe it's because they spent a lot of time like building up his character throughout the last decade with films. That could be it. But like, hey, it really paid off for this show. I really enjoy it. This is probably up there like as one of my newer, more favorited shows. You know.
I have to put this one and Loki still like at the top two. These are the top two shows that like they carried their weight.
Yeah,
and
it was really good.
There wasn't a lot that like we had to complain about.
Maybe one stinker.
They're just legitimately good shows.
Yeah, one stinker for each season. I'd say like the Loki finale was my stinker, and
first episode like it was kind of like a little like underdone, under expectations, you know, but like everything else, it was like, oh shit, we were really building here, bro.
Yeah,
like,
this show did really well with its we always talk about like, oh, I felt like they didn't have any actual like consequences, you know, or like any weight to any.
The consequences and the stakes were here in this show.
They were definitely in the show. Like, we're by episode 5, and 2 major characters in the MCU have already been killed off. You know, like that's pretty major. Like, maybe not huge. I guess none of them are like supers in a way, but like they were majorly established characters that have been like repeated in other films and even in cameos. You know, but like that is your fucking stakes. You know, I felt like the world was actually going to end. You know, you had Rhodey, who is a Skrull at this point, and mostly everyone knows it, you know, but his cover's not blown, trying to convince the president that because Gravik's got a new plan to bomb the Russians and the Skrulls and stuff like that, and it's just interesting.
I mean, that's a crazy plan, man. Like, this guy's legit just like, I don't even care at this point.
Yeah,
he just wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about his people. I'm pretty sure too, like they're alluding to the fact with like the way that scene ends with him and his people. Man, probably like massacred like 50% of them.
Yes, everyone was like in awe by the few soldiers that like stood up against him, and everyone just kind of looked in shock because they knew this man was not good. It was bad news, you know. And
diabolical.
Yeah, it sucks. He is a very evil fucking dude. For him to just be like, oh, I'm here for the people, and it's like, what people, man? You know, like,
people?
Exactly. It's like Michael Shannon in Superman, the first movie, Man of Steel. You know, it's like my purpose is to help my people, but now I have no people. You know?
Yeah.
Complete fucking opposite. Also, that's one of my favorite lines in that shitty DCEU was. Because Michael Shannon's performance as Zod was fucking class.
Where'd you train? On a farm?
He's so fucking menacing. He's cool as fuck.
He is cool as fuck. He's great.
I love him in that movie. I hate that movie to pieces.
I'm gonna be honest, it's a dog shit movie, but he is the highlight of that film.
He's so good in that. Michael Shannon's a great actor.
Michael Shannon's a great actor on his own, so you throw him in there, it's like, man.
I'm gonna talk about this for a minute too. I'm like, Kevin Costner's okay as well. Who's Superman's real life dad?
Marvel show? Are we talking about Superman?
who's the guy from Gladiator? Russell Crowe? Wasn't he like
Russell Crowe? Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he the Kryptonian like real dad? His real pa?
Yeah. He's Jor-El. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I have the scene that come across my feed on Twitter sometimes, and everyone just still shits on it, where it's like the most useless scene in history, and it's where Kevin Costner like stops his son from coming to save him mid tornado.
Oh, and he puts his hand out. So stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much, dude.
Yeah.
Because like nobody would have seen it was him. He's faster than a speeding bullet,
yeah.
man. He literally would have rescued his dad, and everyone would have been like, "Oh shit, maybe the wind like threw him to safety." Like,
yeah.
Nobody would have thought a thing.
Four people that like had the IQ of like 9 and then grew up to fucking be
fucking stupid, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I'm gonna be honest. DC's biggest issue is it looks for every opportunity it can to kill characters for the sake of character growth, and that is not how you write characters.
That's a really interesting point. Yeah, they don't.
Every single DC film and show, they have made it essential that somebody dies for the sake of somebody learning a lesson, and that is not an automatic recipe for people to succeed. Because it's like, dude, half the superheroes that are ever created, they already have somebody that's dead. Right. Batman and his parents. Superman, and like I can't think of all the people they've killed off in the comics for him. They've killed off freaking what's her name? Lois Lane. They've killed off his parents separately. Fucking Spider-Man and Uncle Ben, and then Aunt May. Like, dude, like literally every superhero, they're like, who can we take from them that's important? Aquaman, they take the guy's kid. They take fucking Mara. Dude, they kill everybody. Like,
that's a very good point.
Like, they need to stop
there are better
writing
ways to,
films.
There are maybe not better, but there are other ways to develop characters and stuff.
Exactly, and like you can have that stakes, like where the fear and like legitimate threat of losing somebody.
Like there are other traumas, and like have a superhero get beaten the fuck out of when they're a kid for not cleaning their room a little bit.
Yeah.
No,
like honestly, you know what I've thought is a great idea for like a Batman film, dude? Hush, literally taking control of Bruce Wayne's fucking identity and just like ruining his fucking reputation.
Yeah,
that would be a fucking killer Batman.
Kind of like Mysterio and Spider-Man in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I did like that cool realization that in the Batman, that Batman realized that he didn't have his identity. He was relating to Batman. He was trying to like say like, hey, he's the bad guy, not knowing his like the entire time he thought that he was like his cover was blown and that he knew he was Bruce Wayne. I did like that realization that he was like actually in the clear. That was really cool and stressful. I actually felt that anxiety too. I thought that was pretty neat. For that, I really disliked the second half of that in the film. First half was pretty good, but
second half is where it starts to fall apart.
It was boring as fuck to me.
Man, the connections were really bad.
I was like a 55-year-old dad watching football, standing in my office, just waiting for it to end. Just like, what the fuck is this shit? What, like, seriously? Just me yelling, just like watching the plays and bitching about it, like a 55-year-old man watching the Super Bowl or something like that on a Sunday afternoon. I was fucking just pissy.
That's rough.
No, what were you talking about? Oh, yeah, Marvel Secret Invasion. Yeah,
Secret Invasion.
Show's good. Show is good. What did we review the last thing? 8? 8, I think? What did we review? Or the last episode? 8?
Oh, yeah, we gave it an 8 and a 9, I think.
Cool. Let's... I think I'm going to give this... fuck, man. Oh!
I'm going to follow it up with an 8 to make it easy.
Yeah,
I think it was equally as good as the last one.
Ways.
I can't say it was better.
Yeah, for sure. I did like the action sequence with Priscilla. That was unexpected. That was pretty cool, though.
That was pretty good. My little gripe about that, though, is like I wanted Gaia to like kind of use her little powers she borrowed a little more rather than the guns. It's like they kind of forgot. They're like, this chick literally acquired like 2 main powers, freaking Groot and then the Extremis. And then she's like, nah, I got a shotgun. We're good. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Shotgun City is way more powerful than Groot, confirmed. No, but
Shotgun
we also
City, yeah, exactly, yeah.
What do we also have? We had the ending sequence of the British lady and Nick Fury were in the graveyard and he revealed the info.
Such a cool scene, man. Especially because like he's like starts opening up like what happened to him and like how he lost his edge a little bit.
Yeah.
And then also like what he did, what the harvest is, and like why he doesn't really say why he did it, but he explains that he did it, and it's like, this was a really bad idea, bro. You shouldn't have done this to begin with.
Yeah, you could see like the shame because he did not trust anyone, and he kind of tried to hide it and tuck it away so no one could even know about it, even the people like that were involved. So what the harvest apparently was, it was a team of Skrulls or his agents went out and collected DNA post battles or wars out in like the field of Earth. So they collected that DNA and just kind of held them in a big old juice box.
Yep.
And yeah, just big old cauldron, potluck of Avenger like fucking DNA. They just like spit all the other fucking thing in there. They just threw it in there, cooked it up, and there's like, here's this, you know, like. All right.
That's the best way to put it.
And they just literally just had a vial of it. I'm like, really? Like, it's that simple? Like, you've got like 10 people's DNA and like, okay, cool. Like, all right. That's
honestly, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this final vial is gonna have like 50 plus people's powers.
That's gonna be bonkers, fucking bananas. There's no way anyone can survive in the last episode with that, like, with all of that shit, you know?
Right? That's too much sauce, man.
Yeah,
sauce.
That's gonna be, that character's gonna be OP. You're gonna get like a shitty Clark Kent.
You're literally gonna have, if you pair like just two things together, you're going to have the most powerful character in the MCU. You're going to have
100%, yeah, because they're just gonna have.
He's already openly confessed it has Captain Marvel's power, and Captain Marvel's power literally comes from a freaking Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
So we've already ascertained that power is limitless, and here we are saying this is the person that he like trusted the most, right? And he's like, I'm gonna keep her powers in this little Heinz ketchup bottle for safekeeping for a later day. What the fuck, Sam?
Yeah.
What the hell, Nick? What are you doing?
Yeah. It's goofy, man. What was I about to say there? Oh, I was gonna say it's goofy how Captain Marvel is probably the like most powerful superhero ever, like in the entire MCU at this point, and how rarely we see her. Like, it's kind of like disappointing, but like at the same time,
she's gonna play a bigger part going forward. But it's literally a coin flip between her and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Except one of them has kind of like Scarlet Witch is obviously the more powerful of the two, but the problem is she's her own worst enemy. Captain Marvel's not. That's the thing. Yeah, she's unhinged, dude. She's
we really need to do a podcast episode where we just kind of talk about MC or just superhero shit in general, because I was about to go off on a rant about the last Doctor Strange movie.
I was kind of going there too. I was like, should we go back into the multiverse of madness? I don't know.
Hang on, I'm going back in. So no Sly.
I ain't gonna go back in. You going back in there?
Fuck. Well, yeah, it was another great episode. We just have one more, the finale. I'm super excited to talk about that episode. Really, really hyped about it. But this has been great because, like, we're at our wits' end with MCU and Disney Plus shows because we've been so disappointed, and we're just like, should we do it? You know, like, I saw a couple comments, and I'm really glad a lot of you guys were on our like case about it too and requesting it, because I'm really happy we came out and we did this. Because
this was a banger.
It's good.
This was worth it.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. And no, like, super weird cameos besides that one guy that you said that was in Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
And we know, like, that's the main reason why people watch Marvel shit, is to see a little bit of this character you saw a little bit of.
Connect the dots, yeah.
Exactly. And be like, oh, wow, they showed that. Yeah. But, yeah, we're gonna head out for now, you guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in into this review. It was awesome having you guys. Let us know what you guys thought about the episode of the show down below in the comments, and we'll get back to you on that. But we'll see you later on episode 6, the finale of Marvel Secret Invasion. But until then, bye, everybody.
Bye.